everyone! Welcome to another episode of So Not Scary. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how I made this face mask, which has been approved by the United Kingdom government, and the steps have been recommended by Public Health England. So this isn't just any old mask that you find tutorials of all over the internet. This is something that has been recommended by the Government of England's official website. It is a face covering designed to keep you and those around you a little bit more safer during these uncertain times. So let's go ahead and get started. Now this method recommends that we use 2 to 3 pieces of fabric measuring 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters. Now I only have 2 pieces of fabric, and as you can see, I've already cut them out to that dimension, okay? Alongside that, they also say you should use 2 lengths of either elastic or a string or strips of cloth measuring 20 centimeters. So I already had this nice flat elastic and I'm using this, okay? Simply put, I'm simply going to sandwich these 2 pieces with the wrong sides facing each other and the right sides facing out, like so. So the pretty sides are out. And that's our 25 centimeter square sorted. Now you can use any ordinary ruler. To assist me, I've got this cheap little seam gauge or seam guide, and what it does is you can move this little slider up and down to the exact seam width that you want. So I'm going to set it to 7.5, which is roughly thereabouts. Okay, I'm going to fold it over 3/4 of a centimeter, which is about there. So let's double check. Yep, that looks about right. And I'm just gonna press it down. I'm gonna repeat this on the bottom edge as well. And now we have to take this to our sewing machine and sew a straight stitch all the way along this hem and along this hem. Let's do that. So we're at our mini sewing machine, and as I begin sewing, I am going to do a reverse stitch at the beginning and at the end, like I showed you in this video in great detail. Okay, and that's just going to help me secure the stitches a little more. One side is done. I'm going to repeat the same on the other edge and get back to you and show you what that looks like. So just to quickly recap, I folded over the top and the bottom edges of this lovely 25 centimeter square fabric by 3/4 of a centimeter and just did a simple straight stitch. Okay, now the only other 2 stitches we need to do is on either side of it. So we have to fold it over 1.5 centimeter on either side and then give it a straight stitch. So I've got my handy dandy seam gauge again, and I'm going to set it to 1.5 centimeters, which is there. So I'm going to fold this edge over and set it to about 1.5 centimeters, roughly thereabouts, and I'm just going to press it down and repeat the same on the other side. And all you have to do now is sew a straight stitch down this side and down that side. Let's do that. Right, so that bit was fairly easy. We just simply sewed down these 2 sides using a straight stitch. Now the next step is you have to thread these 20 centimeter long elastics on either side on this channel. So I'm going to use this safety pin. Right, so the elastic is out. Now what they recommend is that we knot the ends of the elastic together. There it is. Now I'm going to repeat the same on the other side and show you what that looks like. So the elastic has been threaded through on either side and knotted. Now what they say is hide the knot inside the channel. So I'm just going to pull on one side and tuck it on the other. So what they've said is adjust the mask onto your face. So wear it, adjust it, and where the fabric sits in gathers, secure the elastic there. So here I am wearing it. can you see how it's curling my ear forward? Personally, I think the fabric covers my face beautifully well, but can you see how my ear is curling forward and it's not very comfortable at all? So I personally think that the 20 centimeter length of elastic is too short. So I'm actually gonna cut off the existing elastic, thread it with 30 centimeters long elastic, wear it again and show you guys, and then see how we can finish sewing this. So yeah, there I am with my hobbit ears. Okay, let's do this. I don't know how well you can see this, but I actually extended the length of elastic to 25 centimeters and then put on my mask, and it feels a lot more comfortable now. Okay, so if you're following this technique, make sure you extend the length of your elastic to 25. If you've got a big head, maybe even 27. I've got a small head, so 25 works for me. And really like pull on the elastic loops until the fabric gathers before putting the mask on. And now that I'm happy with the way it's sitting behind my ears and it's no longer hurting me, now what Public Health England has stated in their tutorial is that you're supposed to secure the elastic to the fabric where it's sitting. So I'm assuming I have to do a little stitch there and a little stitch there, and the same on the other side here and at the bottom of my ear where the fabric's sitting naturally, so that this position doesn't shift around. I've got this Ooni Posca white marker pen. I don't know why I've got it. I must have bought it for something at some point. And it's got a white tip. Can you guys see that? Okay, and with that white tip, I'm just gonna make a little mark on the elastic right there. And I'm gonna repeat it on the bottom as well, and then take the mask off. There's a white mark. I hope you guys can see it. It's very faint, but I can just about see it on the black. If you're using a white elastic, you'll have to use a black pen, obviously. And there as well, there is the other white mark. And now simply what I'm going to do is take the whole thing to my mini sewing machine, and literally where that white mark is, I'm going to position my fabric there and sew several back and forth stitches here. Okay, and I know I'll have to turn the project around multiple times because there is no reversed stitch, but there you have it. That's what you do with a mini sewing machine. And also, because we are working through several layers here, can you see how many layers there are? I will be using my little pink scissors to press down on the presser foot to increase the pressure on the project. So let me do that off camera because it's kind of boring, isn't it? And then come back to you and show you what that looks like. I just want to show you one thing before I tried on the face mask. This is where I went back and forth with my mini sewing machine, and despite all these thick layers that we were sewing, the mini sewing machine managed to do just fine simply by pressing down on the presser foot with the tip of a little sharp object. And I've shown you this technique in multiple videos earlier. But yeah, if you are unsure of whether your sewing machine is going to be able to cope, rest assured it's going to do just fine. See? I went back and forth several times, and you can see here there aren't any skipped stitches. We managed to do just fine. See there? So now I'm gonna try this on and show you guys how it looks. And here's the finished mask, guys. I hope you can see clearly how well this covers my face, all the way from the bridge of my nose down to, well, the base of my neck. I hope you guys can see that. And on the side as well, the coverage is amazing. And if anything, I think this is even more comfortable than the mask which I showed you how to sew earlier in this video. The only thing that I think the Public Health England method missed out on is the length of the elastic that they had recommended. So if you guys decide to make this mask, which I would highly recommend you do because it doesn't get any simpler than this, make sure that you keep the elastic lengths to at least 25 centimeters, if not more, depending upon the size of your head. 20 centimeters is definitely far too small. It's gonna hurt your ears, but at 25 this is incredibly comfortable. The method eliminates any cosmetic steps like folding over the hem twice. I mean, who cares? It's just a hem, it's a raw edge. You can go ahead and do that. You will have to give allowance in your fabric in order to do that. But even if you don't, look at this, it's perfect, okay? So yeah, go ahead, try this. If you like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up. And do go down at the link down below for the gov.uk website link where this method is written down. This information is correct as of September 2020. I don't know how that webpage might be updated in the future. But for now, that tutorial step by step is still down there. And if you're confused about anything, come back to this video tutorial, take a look at how I've tried to do things. I've tried to show it to you as best as possible. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so already, and if this tutorial made sense, consider subscribing because this channel is all about mini sewing machine related tutorials, so you might pick up some little nuggets that might help you in your sewing. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I shall see you guys soon. Bye!